What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What Are Y'all's Podcast. It's your host, JMX, my co-host, Ryan. Woo! Bro, divisional round is in the books. We got a lot to talk about. I ain't gonna lie, but before we get into everything, Ryan, man, how you doing?
Man, I'm a lot better now that the Ravens lost. I'm chilling.
Of course.
But yeah, besides that, obviously it sucks. CapCut got banned. TikTok got banned for a short little period of time, but just been figuring it out. How about yourself? How you doing?
Man, you and I both, me and you've been talking about it a lot. It's been a little struggle using these other apps and everything, but I ain't gonna lie. We have been making it work. You know what I'm saying? We're making it work. Hey, bro, the grind don't stop. To be honest, though, I was kind of proud of, like I texted you, I was proud of me and you know what I'm saying? Like as soon as CapCut went away, we just went to another app and immediately put in the grind, candid it, you know what I'm saying? It was rough though. Those few hours was rough. But I mean, hey, look, man. Hopefully we get CapCut back really soon. But yeah, I've been good. Man, these games are something else. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's go start with Saturday games, bro. Texans traveled all the way to Kansas City. Take on the Chiefs. Chiefs win this game 23-14. Um Texans, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought the Texans they didn't play bad. The game kind of went how I expected it to be. I thought the game was gonna be really close and the Chiefs were gonna pull it out late. That was kind of my whole thing about this game. But I did have the Chiefs winning it. But I do want to just say this: the refs really like did not help out at all. I know like the Texans themselves believe that they were robbed in this game more than the Chiefs beat them. We saw D'Amico say it, Joe Mixon say it after the game that they just kind of all were like, you know, putting it like the refs did sell them. And the refs, I mean, made some egregious calls, bad roughing the passer calls, like bad personal foul. I mean, it was just bad call after bad call. But I mean, that's not 100% the reason why they lost this game. You can go from the missed field goal, like the missed extra point to two missed field goals. Like it was a lot of plays the Texans did leave on the field. Like I think that 4 point swing was huge, especially in the fourth quarter when the game was like really close. But I thought for the most part the Texans played for the game plan that I like for them to win. I felt like they executed a lot of it, being able to run the ball, which they did with Joe Mixon, and being able to get Nico involved, which they did. 5 catches for 81 yards. Schultz got it going 4 catches, 63. They got other guys involved, Mechie, Hutchinson. Um, I mean, CJ didn't really turn the ball over that much. I mean, in my opinion, I thought that they really came in there and executed their game plan. The defense got after Mahomes. They made him work. I mean, the Chiefs put up 23. That's kind of around what they usually put up. But I mean, ultimately, it just came down to just the Texans just really the missed field goal hurt them, and they couldn't really move the ball on the Chiefs late in the game. The last 4 drives for the Texans were a turnover on downs, punt, blocked field goal, and I'm sorry, the last 3 drives for the Texans. So I mean, and though those all came at crucial points in the game when they were within, I think most of them were within one possession. So I mean, it's tough. It was tough for the Texans, but I'm not gonna lie, they showed that you can never really count them out anymore. That's pretty much it. They can have a bad season and still find a way to win a playoff game. Can it? It took the Chargers to have an epic collapse, but I mean, respect to them, bro. Their defense is elite. If they keep and their defense is extremely young too, so they continue to try to build on that defense moving forward, and just because I don't know what the future is with Stephon Diggs there and everything like that. But they can get some more receivers for Nico. I says Nico for CJ and revamp this line. They got a real good shot at being really, really good once again next year. But the Chiefs, this is what they do. Got Kelsey involved. He had a monster game. Woke up for the playoffs, and hey, they got it done.
Yeah, shout out to the Texans. They really, I kind of thought that they not deserved to win, but they did enough at certain points in the game to maybe be have the game will be a little bit closer. Because if we're being honest, this game really wasn't that close. You know, like they had the safety at the end. This game really was like a 23-12 type of ball game, obviously. But I don't know. Again. It's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, it's Andy Reid. It's the exact reason that I'm picking them to three-peat. It's the same thing. That defense was balling. Spags was man, he had them boys running around. It
It
was
was
crazy.
13-12 at one point. I think I didn't mean to cut you off. Just I think in the third quarter. Well, I think going into halftime it was 12-13.
hmm
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean,
talking about the end of the game. I'm talking about the end of the
oh
game.
Yeah, going into the fourth quarter, it was well, no, it was still a one possession game in the fourth quarter. It was 12-20, but like they
I
just
don't know.
after that,
It,
like
it
after
it
the
never felt close to me. It never felt like it was a close game. Personally, it felt like the Chiefs always had this shit under control. Like I don't know. That's just me. I felt like the Chiefs always had this shit under control. There was no sort of worry that the Chiefs were gonna lose this game. At least in my opinion. For me, I'm just speaking how I felt about the game.
Mhm.
Um, and then, again, it's the whole people counting Kelsey out every single year. And every single year, he always shows up in the playoffs when it matters. And guess what? He'll show up against Buffalo next week, and he'll show up in the Super Bowl. It's always gonna happen. It always happens. He always shows up when it matters. And I don't know. Again, that safety, in my opinion, really just made it look a little bit closer than it actually was at the end of the game. Like it was 23-12 with what? What was the score? How much time was left? Like what? 30 seconds or something?
Yeah, nah, yeah. The final score should have been 23-12. But I mean, the Texans, they just missed a lot of their opportunities, and that's just tough. Like you could tell they needed a little bit more juice. But the refs didn't help them at all though. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that the refs are the reason why they lost. I mean, there was a lot of other reasons why they lost, but the refs didn't help.
Yeah, some of the calls were a little bit, uh,
They're they're
uh
bullshit.
yeah, a little bit egregious, but then some of them were like legit calls that it's like we were talking about before. It's just like you're a winning team. They've obviously continued to win, so people are gonna keep complaining about like ticky tack type fouls. Some of the fouls again, they were like, bro, what are we doing here? But then
Yeah,
others
exactly.
others are like, man, that's like a legit foul. And it's like, well, no, people just don't want to admit it because it's the Chiefs and it's the refs, and people just don't want to admit that the Chiefs are a good football team. You know,
Facts.
like if they win the Super Bowl, people are gonna sit there and say, nah, the refs carried them to the Super Bowl. It's like, all right, bro. Like eventually, you gotta recognize like that they're a good football team, and it will. Like people in like 10 years from now, they'll be like, man, you know, like the Chiefs were actually balling back in 2000 what. 2025 type, you know, and obviously I'm sure they'll continue to ball next year and the year after and the year after, but like people won't give them their credit until after the fact, kind of like with the Patriots and Brady. People didn't give him the credit in the time being. Everyone wanted to see him fail. Everyone was blaming the refs for every little thing, but that's whatever. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, but I do want to give a shout out to the Texans. I feel like they came in, they executed their game plan for the most part. Just missed field goals, should have converted on some of those downs. But I feel like for the most part, the defense played up to the part. They ran there. They're able to run the ball. Just if they would have had a Diggs in this game, it would have just made everything so much different. Like this is why they brought in Stephon. You know what I'm saying? Because they felt like they needed that one more receiving threat, and it's really tough that they couldn't get it done this year. I think next year they'll revamp this line because CJ needs some help, bro. Lord Jesus, revamp this line and because he got sacked what 9 times, or am I tripping? I'm thinking
It
maybe
was a
thinking of
lot.
another
I
game.
think it was 8. I think he got sacked 8 times.
Let me see. Yeah, 8. Yeah, got sacked 8 times. I mean, it was ridiculous, man. But shout out to the Chiefs. Hey, man, this is what they do. Um, but yeah, they another AFC title game. But let's move on to the game of the weekend, bro. Honestly,
I do
go,
got one
go
thing to
ahead.
say that will kind of lead into the next one. It is funny how everyone was worried about the Chiefs coming out rusty and choking, and that they were the number one seed and they got the bye week, and that they would have come
I
out
won't tell you nothing
slow,
about them.
and they ended up winning. And the team that we really should have been concerned about, obviously in hindsight, or the team we're about to talk about right now, was the Lions at the one seed, because they looked rusty when they came out.
I wouldn't even say that, but okay, we gonna get into it. Um, Man, the Commanders traveled all the way to Detroit to take on the Lions, and they pulled off the upset. Look, I know I was talking about my Broncos shocking the world. The Commanders shocked the world, bro. 45-31. They put up 28 points in the freaking second quarter on these dudes. Absolutely went into Detroit and mollywopped them. Um, Look, I'll start with the Lions part of it, and then I'll let you talk about the Commanders. Um, I was disappointed, not just with the defense. I mean, we kind of saw this coming. I mean, we kind of saw this coming from the defense a little bit. I thought Aaron Glenn didn't have a terrible game plan. Um, just Washington kind of switched it up. They got it going in a short game, and I thought they were going to run a lot of one-on-ones, but they got it. They got the ball to their guys in a short game and just let them cook. Excuse me. And I think that was just kind of the difference from what we seen prior to the Commanders' offense. But I mean, we being honest, man, the defense really won them this game. The Washington's defense won them this game, and I think that was the biggest shocker to me. I thought they were winning a shootout, but I wouldn't even label this game a shootout. Like this game was at halftime. I was like, Commanders finna win this game. Like they were down. It was 31-21. I said Commanders finna get to almost 50, and that's exactly what happened because once you already got 31 at halftime, bro, when it rains, it pours. That's just what happens. Especially you're playing Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin. But Jared Goff in this game, he sold them. I mean, it's just flat out plain and simple. He sold them. I thought they executed the game plan when it came to running the football. I thought Monty, even in he didn't only had 28 yards on the ground. I still felt like you felt it. Like I felt like he came out the gate and kind of set the tone. Jameer Gibbs had a really solid day, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. He was balling. Jamison Williams took the 61 yarder to the crib. I mean, I felt like the game plan the Lions had offensively was perfect. I thought Ben Johnson called a really good game. It was just the errant mistakes on Jared Goff's part that cost them. I mean, talk about the first pick where you have Sam Laporta sitting right in front of Amon-Ra St. Brown for the first down. You try to force the ball into the tight window, you overthrow it, it goes for the pick six. Then Jamison Williams runs a little post into the deep of the end zone, and you throw it late, and you didn't put enough air on it. You kind of threw it on a beeline late. Mikey Sancho makes a hell of a play for the pick. Um, I mean that just can't happen. And what was the other pick he threw? Because he threw three. I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember the other one. Let me go see the play by play for what was the. I can't remember what the other pick
To
was.
Chin
To
at the end of the
Chin.
game with 30 seconds left.
Oh yeah. I mean, but the game was pretty much over at that point, honestly. But man, it was really those two plays, and of course the Gemmo pick, but that was just a boneheaded play from him. But I mean, it was really the two plays that broke open the game were the two picks that Goff threw early. You can't throw those picks. You like Laporta is sitting right in front of you. He catches it as a first down, bro. Like, and Goff hasn't really been. And people were trying to say, man, this is what we knew Jared Goff was, and I disagree with that strongly. Jared Goff hasn't shown us anything in these last two seasons of him being capable of doing what he did this past weekend. Like, even in the playoffs last year, nobody was sitting here saying that, oh, Jared Goff is the reason why he lost to San Francisco. No, he played a damn good game. Just Dan Campbell may have been a little bit too over aggressive and lost the game. This time around, I don't know what happened to this man. You got Amon Ra. He is the best, one of the best safety blankets in the league, if not the best. Like, he's gonna always be open there for you. Sam Laporte. I mean, Jared Goff has everything. Top two offensive line, two dynamic backs. You got a 50-50 guy. You got the ultimate slot receiver. You got the ultimate speedster. And you got one of the best tight ends in the league. And you came out there trying to match the energy from Jaden Daniels, and you just sold. Then that's just kind of what it was. You were trying to outshine them, not to mention the fumble early too. But it's just those picks cost Detroit so much. And then the fact, and I mean that's just as bad as it goes. But the second quarter collapse was crazy. Like that's just that I've never seen a team be so disciplined in the regular season and not turn the ball over the way this team did in the first quarter alone. Like I was shocked, bro. Like the fumble early, I was like, whoa, okay, that's fine. Washington gets a touchdown, and I think they missed the extra point, something like that, or I don't know what they did. But yeah, it was 9-7. Oh no, I'm wrong. No, yeah, no, they made the extra point. I was just shocked, like because at the time Golf threw the pick, it was 14-17. They could have went down and took the lead, but that kind of broke the game open, bro. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. The pick, I mean, it was bad, bro. I'll let you talk about the Commanders, but I'm sorry that pick where I think was it Amon Ra intended, or I can't remember whoever it was intended. He had Laporta sitting right in front of him and just completely misread it, and that's why I say, bro, it's not even about the rustiness too. You just got you you got to stick to your game plan, bro. You can't force it. Like trying to make them throws in those tight windows are so dangerous. Everything on the line, nah. But shout out to Jay Daniels.
I don't know, the reason I was saying, I feel like they kind of came out rusty. You get first drive, you go out 3 and out. Second drive, you get a touchdown. But in your next, what, 5 drives. You turn the ball over twice. One of them is a pick six, and one of them is a 3-and-out to begin the game at home. Number 1 seed. It's like if you don't want to say it's rust, then obviously it is what it is. But for me, I feel like that's something that, like, let's say the Lions played last week. I do wonder if maybe just them having that 1 seed and having the bye gave them a little bit of comfortability. I also wonder if they underestimated the Commanders coming in to the game, because realistically,
Defensively, I think they did.
yeah, I feel like that was the main, like, obviously Goff, but also him and this defense got absolutely shredded. It's like they realistically gave up 35 points because the defense can't control Goff throwing a pick six, and then the Commanders capitalized on the Lions' mistakes. Jane Daniels,
Yeah.
I thought I thought he did pretty well. He took care of the ball.
Damn
Threw
straight.
for 200, threw for 300 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns. For Brian Robinson, ran the ball effectively as well. 15 carries, 77 yards. He got himself 2 touchdowns as well. Diami Brown got a nice little 100 yards. I also, again, like I was saying last episode, I feel like Austin Eckler, like some of those plays to extend the drives, like they're so crucial and they're so important. And like on the stat sheet, you only see 4 catches for 41 yards, but like
Yeah, nah, he
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 was
was huge.
balling, and
He
then
was huge in the running attack. He was huge all
hmm
around, bro.
which is crazy because I remember when he signed there, I was like, it's like
It's
it would.
rap.
Yeah, it wasn't even really that important. I thought not his career was gonna die, but like it was whatever. I mean, the whole
We seen this
receiving.
story before. Yeah, like we had seen that story with once good running backs when they
Mm-hmm.
go to Washington. What happens?
For kind of like when receivers go to Tennessee. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean the whole receiving core had almost 300 yards, bro. Like again, and it was the defense, like you said, the defense was balling, and it was really just they were just waiting for the Lions to make mistakes, and they were just capitalizing on those mistakes. Like I feel like the Lions just beat themselves for real. Like the Commanders they were
yeah,
balling. Don't get me wrong, the Commanders were balling, but like the Lions are obviously the better team. They're the more talented team. But not today, but yesterday in that current game, the Commanders were the better team. They outplayed them and they took care of the ball when they needed to. And the defense was balling. They capitalized on turnovers and their mistakes. And yeah, it is funny. I saw someone tweeting they were like, "Man, the Lions are about a Matthew Stafford away from being a Super Bowl contender." I'm like, all right, bro, you guys are filthy for that one. That's crazy.
yeah. It's yeah, and just going on Jaden Daniels, he was sensational, bro. 22 for 31, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like you said, didn't make any mistakes. Got it going on the like with the ground game too. But Brian Robinson had a big day. Eckler had a big day, and this is kind of what the like. It's kind of been the same. I won't say the same thing, but this is what they kind of needed to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? Like this is most definitely what they needed. Like they couldn't afford to not run the ball this game. And hey man, they did. Like they're able to run the ball really well. But Terry McLaurin's a dog. Diami Brown was cooking. He's a dog. Like, bro, they were just ball. Like, I was shocked that like they weren't getting these passes down the field. And my dog is chasing his tail right now, so y'all don't mind that. But yeah, like I was surprised that they didn't take those deep shots down the field though. Like that's kind of was my shock. I mean, they did, but it wasn't like how usually they do. Terry McLaurin got it going. You had the big play where he caught it on the screen and just housed it. Dammy Brown was having plays where he was beating their guys one on one down the field. And I mean, look, I will say a big reason why they were able to take advantage of them was because I think Brian Branch got hurt in this game. Their other safety got hurt in this game. Amik Robertson, that's his name. He shattered his arm in like the first quarter. He was gone. Like, so I mean, they took advantage, but it was kind of like the Denver game when I said if I wanted Denver to beat Buffalo, they would have to beat themselves more than we beat them. And that's kind of what Detroit did. I don't think Washington walked in there and just outplayed them. Detroit, they beat themselves, bro. Turning the ball over 5 times. I mean, that's just that cannot happen, bro. And the defense doing kind of what they did was ridiculous too, as well. Like getting drove. I was surprised on how bad it was though. Like they were just moving up the down the field at will. It felt like against them.
Yeah, it was actually maybe the biggest shock of the whole playoffs for real. From at least for me, like I didn't like. Obviously, we were saying like we could see a way that the Commanders could possibly have won, but like I did not see it being like this. The guy that's kind of almost been credited the whole season as taking care of the ball the best. Shit, we were making videos about how he had more touchdowns and incompletion, or the whole team had more touchdowns and incompletions. Like he was taking care of the ball so well. It was like this whole offense and this whole like team were such a well-oiled machine, bro. And it was like for them to go out like this at home, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's also, man, why do you have JMO throwing a pass? Like, throwing essentially the game sealing interception right then and there. It's like,
He should have threw it away though. To be
yeah.
honest, that was just a boneheaded move.
But like why even, like I understand like there's a trick play, and like obviously in hindsight if they complete it and let's say they go for a touchdown, then I'm not saying nothing about it. But like even like bro, what are you thinking about having him try to throw a ball for game? Like I understand Goff really wasn't getting it going, but like you trust JMO in a trick play more than you trust your star, not star, but your starting quarterback, bro. Like I don't know, I don't know. But that's just me being picky, and that's just me saying shit in hindsight, you know. Because if it works, it works. But
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like it's tough. Like I agree, like some of the play call, but I will say, but that's just kind of what the Lions are, though. Like I'm not for that because they've lived in. I mean, hell, you die by it. But man, Jamison should have threw that ball. Jamison should have threw that ball away. That's just who he thought he was making that throw. I don't know what was going through his mind during that play, but that just can't happen. But hey, man, huge shout out to Dan Quinn. Huge shout out to Cliff Kingsbury, bro. They balled, bro. They
and
came up with a great game plan.
yeah,
They got the ball away, but the Lions ultimately beat themselves. And we finna talk about a team later that I believe beat themselves also. But yeah,
it
man,
also
let's move on.
it also
Wait,
shows how
yeah,
quickly coaching, man, like the whole everything. Like you can just switch something around so quick. Like with a whole new GM, whole new owner, whole new head coach, whole new quarterback, and how everything just in one season can just be switched like that, bro. Like the
yeah,
success
like
just came because well, like Washington is never Washington obviously before we were born was successful, but like in very recent memory, last 20, 30 years, like they haven't been anything special, you know. And it's like this is the
yeah,
first
like
season of a rookie quarterback. Like props to
yeah. And
them.
I made a video about all the quarterbacks they had like since RG3, bro. Like I think it was like Kirk Cousins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Case Keenum, um, who I can't even like I remember it was a lot I did for the video, and it was so many of them I actually couldn't remember who it was. Oh yeah, Dwayne Haskins, Colt McCoy, Alex Smith, Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz, Sam Howell. I mean, bro, and I didn't even mention Josh Johnson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and all these guys that they had. And it's just been like a journey. But like you said, new ownership, new GM, new coach, new quarterback. You're seeing this recipe, like kind of like what the Texans did. GM. They didn't fire their GM, but he was still about 2-3 years in when they brought him in. You bring in the new head coach, you draft a young quarterback. You look at Denver, new ownership, new coach, new GM, new quarterback. Like the only thing with Denver was we swung and missed on Russell Wilson, but a lot of teams in our position would have done the same thing. I mean, we being completely honest, but you look at Washington and you look what they did, and you look at like a lot of teams like the Raiders could be the next team to do that. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee could be the next team to do that. Like it just kind of happens in this league, and I think teams are starting to realize that sometimes you got to go cold turkey and just say we're gonna commit to rebuild because you never know what can happen. Like you never, and it's looking like when teams go young, it's looking like that's starting to be the wave in the league. I think y'all should definitely like adhere to this as well. I think y'all need to. I'm not saying y'all need to get rid of Tomlin. Tomlin's obviously a one in a million head coach. There's not a lot of Tomlins that grow on trees, but definitely should be looking at maybe the new GM route and the new quarterback route. I think that's something that y'all need to be looking into. But yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know about Tomlin, just because I would like to see him with like a legit quarterback. Like if we're being honest, Kenny, even though he was a first round quarterback, like he wasn't like a legit
Yeah,
guy, you know.
y'all be taking quarterbacks in the worst drafts, bro. Like,
It's also
bro,
at the
y'all take
worst spot, bro.
yeah, bro. Like they were saying like Kenny and Willis weren't even supposed to be first round picks, and y'all took them. Like,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know,
telling me
man.
about it, man. It's always been like that. Well, not now with quarterback, but like we always draft like really bad in the first round, and it's like sometimes we find those steals in like the second to like late round. Like I think I remember Juju was a second round pick. I think James Conner was like a third. Keanu Benton, who's a stud for us, he was in the second round, I believe, or third round. Peyton Wilson's a dog. We found him in the late round. Like I'm obviously missing a bunch of people. We always draft like good late round shit. George Pickens was a second round pick. Um, but it's always those first round picks, bro. Like, and we're always gonna be too good to get a good pick, but too bad to get a playoff win. Anyway, this segment ain't about the damn Steelers. I went on a little tear about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. Yeah, but I agree. I think a lot of teams should definitely adhere to this though. But yeah, let's go on to today's games. First game up. Rams traveled to Philly to take on the Eagles today. What a game it was. This game got pretty snowy pretty quick. Yeah, let's go to the Sunday games this morning. Well, early today. Rams traveled to Philly to take on the Eagles. Eagles win this game 28-22. This is a snow game, bro. I mean, I'm kind of got mixed feelings about snow games to be honest with you, but I mean, look, it's whatever to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, my main takeaway, I'll start with the Eagles, was Saquon just killed the Rams again. Kind of like how I didn't think he was going for 200 again. I said in my video, I didn't think he was going to go for 200, and he kind of did just that. Um, Saquon's ridiculous, bro. That just Saquon won his game for Philly. The defense I thought played really well for them too. They came up big on that last drive, stopping Puka and Cooper Cup. But I'm glad they got Cooper Cup involved. Puka had a good game. Stafford had a good game, but I they're gonna need Jalen Hurts to make plays at some point, bro. They can't keep hiding him. 15 and Kenny, he did get hurt in this game. I do want to say that he did get hurt, but like bro, it's gonna come out eventually. Like, bro, he's gonna have to make plays down the stretch to win games. He's gonna have to, bro. 15 for 21, 28. He got sacked 7 times. Ken, a lot of sacks he took was because he was really immobile. And I know he's still recovering from that concussion, but it's been kind of that way the whole year. But I will say, hey, look, he got it done on the ground, though. He got it done on the ground, 7 carries, 70 yards, a touchdown. But he's gonna eventually, like, AJ Brown has to get the ball more, bro. 2 catches, 14 yards. Like, you're not gonna, bro. They would not win the Super Bowl like that. I promise you. They play a team that can stop Saquon Barkley, bro. They're in trouble, and I believe they have the talent to win the whole thing easily. If they wanted to, but shout out to them boys. It was really the defense. They were all over Stafford, bro. Causing it was Kyron Williams fumble. I think Stafford had a big fumble. Yeah, Stafford fumbled. Um, I mean, it was a lot, bro. Like they were just kind of all over them, but it was Saquon and the defense just won Philly this game at will.
Yeah, I mean, you basically covered everything for the Eagles. One thing that I want to talk about with the Rams, man, they had 16 sacks in the last 2 games, bro. Like they had 7 today and 9 against Minnesota in the wild card round. Like that defense, especially that front four, man, they should, man, especially what's his name? Jared Verse, excuse me. Man, he was balling today. Shit, he had called out the Eagles fans and just the Eagles in general, essentially saying he didn't like the Eagles and he doesn't like the Eagles fans. But dude, he was balling. He had he recorded 5 pressures, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, and 2 quarterback hits as a rookie, bro. Like it was insane. It was insane, especially for them to even be in this game because it didn't really. It is, in my opinion, the same thing as the Chiefs game. And for me, it really didn't feel like the Rams were ever going to win the game. Um, maybe it was just like a bias towards what I previously thought was going to happen. But like I always just kind of felt like, all right, the Eagles got this shit. Like they'll pull it out eventually when it matters. I mean, they did obviously with Saquon, but Stafford was balling. He threw for 325, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams had that costly fumble, which kind of turned the momentum. And shout out to Jalen Carter too on the Eagles side. Man, he's a fucking dog. Especially man, he fell to them at pick 9. It's like, bro, like
Yeah, bro, it's ridiculous.
it's
He's
crazy.
ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this game besides maybe what do you call it? Besides that Texans Chiefs game was really just the game that felt the most like I Philly will find a way to pull it out, and especially it being in bad weather. I know you're not a big snow guy or a snow game guy. I like the snow games. I think they're tough. Obviously, it sucks for the passing game, but also like you can't really use that as an excuse of like, well, we can't throw the ball because it's snowing. It's like, well, Stafford threw for 325, 2 touchdowns.
He's insane, bro.
Mm-hmm. So like, and I understand Jalen was hurt, and I'm a huge Jalen supporter, you know. And if you just look at the stats in general, man, like had what 75% completion, 128 passing yards. He also ran for 70 yards and a touchdown. So like, I think this game personally, in my opinion, was better than the game against Green Bay last week. But like, I do agree with you. Eventually, you're gonna have to pass the ball. You know, eventually AJ Brown can't keep getting away with 2 catches. Devonta Smith can't keep getting away with 4 catches. Like eventually you're gonna have to air it out. You know, but
I mean, look, I'm not saying that, or like, because there's a very good chance that they literally can just run Saquon to a Super Bowl. Like that's just an easy, like I could see that happening, but I think teams are gonna like, bro, no, Jalen, beat us with your arm, bro. Like we will put 8 dudes in the box or whatever they decide to do. We're gonna put 6, 7 dudes in the box each time, and we gonna stuff Saquon, or we gonna hold Saquon to where he gets 70 yards for the whole game, and you're gonna have to beat us with your arm. Cause think about it, bro. If Saquon doesn't go for 200, bro, they don't win this game at all. Like they're going home, bro. Like Saquon is just he's ridiculous. Like he's winning them the games, bro. Like he's on his back carrying this offense. Like 26 carries, 205. Come on, bro. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, I do want to give a shout out. Shout out to Kyron still had a good game though, but shout out to Stafford. Him and Puka Nakua. How Stafford could play 5 more years with Puka Nakua as wide receiver one, bro. Now, Ken, I saw everybody was killing Matthew Stafford for that throw he made at the end of the game, but I mean, like, bro, it is what it is. Like, you sometimes you gotta live with it, you gotta die with it. Like, I still think Stafford is a Super Bowl winning. I still think Stafford is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, probably top five, for sure, top seven in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Saquon, bro. He's just ridiculous. The moral of it all is just he's just ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. They're gonna now next week. We gonna talk about the predictions later, but I will say Washington. I think Washington has Philly figured out more than Philly has them figured out. And Dan Quinn, look, Washington, we know they can't stop the run, and that could be their downfall. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. If they go to the Super Bowl, it's like Saquon's just ridiculous, bro. It's just insane. This dude ran for 200 on them twice, twice. Like burnt like 2 long touchdowns, cribbed it in both games. Like I think he did a video like Saquon killing the Rams. Like it's ridiculous, bro. He had 2 long touchdowns in the last game and 2 this game. One of them where he just called game, just put the dagger in the heart. Like it's ridiculous.
yeah, shout out them. So the Eagles should have
Yeah,
signed him. My fault. The Giants should have signed him.
yeah, bro. It's ridiculous. But let's go on to man. This was just this game was sad, bro. Ravens travel to Buffalo, take on the Bills divisional round. We got 2 MVP candidates, Lamar and Josh. Bills win this game 27-25. Man, look, I'm hurt for my boy Lamar. I want to go with Baltimore, and then I'll let you do Buffalo side of things. You can also talk about Baltimore too, but for starters, I thought the game plan was good. Um, Ultimately, like I know a lot of people saying you should kind of fed Derrick Henry more, but I feel like they were getting good production on the ground from pretty much everybody, from Lamar, from Justice Hill, and Derrick Henry himself. I feel like, I mean, Derrick was kind of tapping himself a lot on those plays, but I mean, ultimately, you do want to run him the ball. Obviously, you want to say give Justice Hill, give all his carries to Derrick Henry, what he does with them, whatever. But I thought Justice Hill played a good game in the passing game as well. But yeah, I thought Lamar played. I thought he played solid. 18 for 25, 254, 2 touchdowns. He had that really bad pick. The fumble. Me and Ron was talking about this for the pod. I'ma just. I don't think though that fumble was ultimately too much on him. Yeah, he caught it and regained control, but if it's not a bad snap in the first place, I just don't think it's a fumble. I'm just not gonna put the fumble on him, even though Lamar owned it. That's what he's supposed to do, but that snap can't be like that. I thought I thought overall, I thought the defense played well for Baltimore. I mean, holding Buffalo's gonna get points on you, bro. But I thought ultimately that they played well. You're not gonna sack Josh Allen. You just gotta hope to hold them to some field goals, which I thought Baltimore did. They they forced some 3 and outs. I mean, they weren't the best in the red zone, but I thought they did a decent job. Like they should have won the game. The defense played well enough for them to win the game. But Mark Andrews, I mean, that's kind of it all. I mean, he just sold the game, just flat out sold the game, and multiple. He had a big drop in the second quarter. Had the big fumble, huge fumble. I think they were down. What were they down? 19-25, something like that.
I think it was. No, I think it was 1924 because then they kicked that field goal.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
1924. So Lamar and them, I mean, they're moving the ball pretty well. He fumbled at the Buffalo 44. They were in the territory. Lamar and then they were putting together a little solid drive, and he makes a hell of a throw to Mark Andrews. I think wasn't it kind of a crossbody throw? I can't remember too much on the throw. I could be thinking of a different play, but Mark Andrews fumbled, and that really kind of just set it off for this game. Be completely honest with you, like, because say Baltimore, even if Baltimore doesn't get a touchdown, say they get 3 on that drive, then they hold Buffalo to 3 or whatever the case may be. Like we're talking, like Baltimore wins this game. I mean, and then of course the touchdown with the drop 2 point conversion, that just can't happen. That 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 just that cannot happen. I don't care what anyone says. That that cannot happen, bro. Mark Andrews, you can't drop that ball right there. I mean, it's literally a perfect ball, and he threw it the easiest spot. He didn't put it out for your hands for you to make the catch. He put it right in your bread basket, and you just flat out dropped it. And that's the season for Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Derrick Henry played a good game. I thought Lamar did a good job without Zay Flowers. I mean, I thought ultimately they played a good game. It's just when it all people gonna talk about the interception, which didn't really have an. I mean, like Buffalo didn't score on it. It was just a bad throw. It was a bad play from Lamar, but it came down to the moments, came down to the fourth quarter, like we all knew it was going to be. And the Ravens are fumbling the drop 2 point conversion. And you look at the Bills, they executed 2 field goals, and that was kind of the difference. And shout out to Josh Allen, they're going to play KC, and Lamar and them going home. But I mean, look, I know you don't because you're still a fan, but I feel for Lamar, bro. This is second year in a row where on big drives to kind of close out to kind of take the lead late in games, you've had your best player fumble. And it's just gotta suck. Like he said, I mean, that just can't happen, bro. It can't. Like last year it was 8 Flowers, where I can't remember what the score, but I remember they were getting ready to take the lead on the drive. Like it was like one of those, yeah, I think it was a drive where Baltimore could have like low key started to take like full control of that game, and Zay Flowers coughed it up and then gave all the momentum back to KC. And it was just kind of like in this game, Baltimore was gaining a little bit more momentum. You could kind of be like, okay, if they can go get a touchdown here, they gonna win this game. And it just didn't happen, bro. Which is extremely, bro. It's so tough. It's so tough. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't feel bad for the Ravens one bit. Like, actually, at all. Just the way Ravens fans been talking shit all week, which they deserve to talk shit. You know, they did beat us. No, I do not feel bad when, like, at all. Again, I understand your opinion on it. I think that fumble not is only on him, but he has responsibility in fumbling the ball. He regained possession. He fumbled the ball all by himself. They recovered it. Shit, Von Miller, man, if it was maybe like 5, 10 years ago, he would have ran that back to the crib. If we're being honest, I know you were. Well, you probably weren't rooting for him at the time, but yeah, I don't know, dude. This I'm not saying this game is all on Lamar because obviously at the end of the game he did have his team in the position to win the game, or at least tie the game. To then we have no idea how the game would have ended after that. But like you also can't turn the ball over twice when the other quarterback didn't turn the ball over at all. Josh Allen took care of the ball very, very, very well, and dude, I don't know. You just can't you can't lose a turnover battle and then also expect to sit there and win the game. They had 3 turnovers completely as a team. Like you're not going to win the game like that, which is also crazy to think about. I mean, all it would have taken is Mark Andrews to catch the ball, and then we have no idea what the game would have ended like. The Ravens could have gone out there and won the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think this game is more on. I thought Josh took care of the ball very, very well. Um, I thought the whole Bills team played solid. I do kind of think that the Ravens maybe should have ran the ball a little bit more, especially after that drive with Derrick Henry. Man, they completely bullied them down the field with that
Yeah.
one drive with Derrick Henry. I believe it was what
Yeah,
game was it?
and
Yeah, it was
yeah,
about a
that
minute
that was
30 left in the third.
yeah, and that was the next drive they came out and yeah, like they came out and yeah, that was the drive where he fumbled, where Mark Andrews fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
like I
that's true.
mean, like at that point, like they only had two drives for the rest of the game, and in the first half they were stuffing Derrick Henry in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They were stuffing him in the first half, like they were stuffing him. Like he knew they were stuffing him. That's why they said he got to come out more aggressive, and they did. They fed him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he had a great drive. I think he had two kind of no. It was he had two I think really decent drive. The first one was decent where they got the field goal, and then the second one he just like you said drove down the field and they got the touchdown. But it's like I mean, like you say, give Derrick Henry the ball. I mean, bro, it ain't Derrick Henry fault the man fumbled the ball.
I'm not saying
I'm
it's his
sorry.
fault. I'm saying that
Yeah,
I
no,
feel like they should have ran the ball
yeah.
more.
I mean, like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Derrick Henry fault, but I mean, like, I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna blame the play caller for sitting there like you call a play, the dude is wide open, completes the pass, and he just gets peanut punched. I mean, look, I will say that yeah, maybe if it's the play was 2nd and 11, like they ran it on first down and lost a yard, so it's like you kind of got to throw it to get some of those yards back, and then we'll see how it goes, but. I don't know. And in the last drive of the game, you can't put Derrick Henry in the game because you got to go quick tempo. You need your pass catching back. You need Hill in the game. It's just rough. I mean, it is really rough, bro. That was a rough loss for them. Like, and Lamar is pissed. I'm rightfully so. Like, yeah, you brought up a good point. I mean, he can't throw that pick early in the game. That can't happen. But I feel that fumble was just so like okay, like I'll just say I guess it was 50-50. I'll lean more like 70-30. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say Lamar had no fault in it, but like I'm putting most of that on the center, bro. Like you can't have no bad snap like that, bro. It leads to either one of the greatest plays you'll ever see or ultimate disaster. And for the Ravens, it was just ultimate disaster. Like that can't happen, bro. It can't happen. And then the rest of the game, I mean, you look at the rest of the game for them, they scored on like every other drive after that, besides the fumble, which is crazy. After the fumble, where that play happened, field goal, and I mean I'm not gonna count the where they need the ball to go into halftime, but field goal, touchdown. The Mark Andrews fumbled and touchdown. Like, that's rough. Like as a coach, if I'm looking at that, that's so tough. You came out basically after that happened. I mean, that's rough. And shout out to I say the defense played well because after all of those mess ups, they allowed field goals. Like after Lamar threw the pick, they forced a punt. Well, no, after the no, they I'm sorry. After the fumble, they scored a touchdown. But still, I thought they did well. Like after both of the fumbles, they gave up field goals, which if they give up touchdowns, the game is a blowout. So yeah, it's rough.
Did the center run back there and punch it out of Lamar's hands himself though? If you giving him
Bro,
30% of the blame, bro, like yes, it was a bad snap, but he also then regained possession. He then tried to go run for it and he fumbled it himself. Like yes,
but we gotta remember, like he tips the ball up in the air. He catches the ball. By the time he
mm-hmm,
brings the ball down, he has a split decision on because he can't just fall to the ground in that moment. He catches the ball, he's getting tackled, and he's trying to break away from he's trying to. I don't know what he was trying to do honestly, but like he was definitely trying not to like lose y'all. He was trying to get the ball back kind of forced so they wouldn't take an absolute loss, and he just gets stripped. So I mean, like we talking about a split decision where Lamar had in his mind, like, you know what I'm saying? Where Lamar had in his mind to go down immediately because he's catching the ball, he catches the ball, and then he gets tackled. Like DeMar Hamlin's there off rip.
You still can't fumble that ball. You still I don't
No,
care. You
I
still
agree.
can't
I
fumble
agree.
that ball. He had that ball tucked and he fumbled it himself.
I agree. I'm just
Like
saying. I'm just saying. All that doesn't happen if the snap is solid.
yeah, but we don't know that. He could have tried to go run by himself and he
Man,
still
bro,
could have
he was
fumbled.
not fumbling on that play.
All right.
Bro,
So cuz the ball was up here, he then regained possession and then made a decision to go to try to run for it. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna sit there and argue about if it could or if it couldn't happen.
yeah.
But dude, it's. I'm not saying it's all his fault, but man, 70-30 is crazy. To
I'm
give
giving 70 to the
70% of
center.
it to
Bro,
the
you got
center.
one job. You like, come on. This the playoffs. Like, why are you like? And he's not a bad center. Linderbaum is one of the
No,
better centers
no,
in the league.
yeah,
But it's like, bro, come on, man.
yeah, but he didn't go back there and punch that shit out of his hand. You know,
No,
like
I agree with that, but I'm saying that none of that would have happened if he just snaps the ball. Like if he gives you a good snap, none of the extra stuff happens after that. Like,
he,
and bro, I'm not saying like the snap was just low or bro, the snap was all high. Bro, he it was a bad snap, bro. The ball is all in the air. Lamar has to tip it up and he had to catch the ball. Like Canton, I will say, yeah, maybe he should have just caught it and went to the ground immediately. But like he doesn't know he can't see. Oh, DeMar Hamlin's running full speed towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't
yeah,
know, man.
yeah, but also if then it would be like again if he would have thrown a bomb down the field for a touchdown, we'd be giving him all the credit for it. So it's like you
Yeah, I
also
agree.
then have to give him blame for then trying to make the decision to go and try to run. You know, like
I gave him blame.
30% though. Like
That's bro. I'm giving him blame though.
I have a question for you. If Russ would have caught the ball and tried to run for it, and Russ would have fumbled the ball, you would not be giving that man 30% of the blame.
Okay.
You would not. It's
I
because
most
you
definitely
like
would say
Lamar
it
and
was a
you feel
bad
bad
snap.
for Lamar
No,
that you
no,
giving
no,
him
no, no, no,
only
no, no, no.
30%. Like it's 50-50.
I would
It was a
definitely
bad
say
snap
it's
and
a
he
bad
fumbled.
snap. No, like I get on Russ a lot, but I'm not gonna sit here and say when something like okay, I've never said where something was his fault. And like, I mean, wasn't his fault. And I sat there and said, nah, that's actually on him. He got to do A, B, C, D. Nah, he got a bad snap, catches the ball, and then the ball gets out. I'm gonna definitely say, bro, like it's I'll be saying the same thing. Like he got a split second, but he maybe should have went down. But I'm still giving it 70-30. 70% because it's like, bro, you got one dude got to make these decisions in like 1, 2, 3, up, fucked up. Like to where a center who does this every single day, snapping the ball. I don't know, but overall, it wouldn't change. They lost the game, bro. I don't even think that play. I mean, that play was a big play in the game, but
Yeah, because they scored a touchdown after that. After
yeah,
that fumble, they went and scored a touchdown. They kicked a field goal, scored a touchdown, 21-10 going into half. Like that was such a huge moment in the game too. Granted, they almost won, you know. So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm 100% still putting most of this blame on 89. I ain't gonna put all of it on him, but he definitely has a huge part, especially in the fourth quarter, bro. That was brutal. I'd be sick. I'd be sick if I was a Baltimore fan right now. I'd be.
Man, what would you do? Like
Ooh.
we were talking about before the pod, if you guys were in that divisional round. It was against Baltimore, and that man, Lil Jordan Humphrey, wide open. Oh my god! Oh my god! 84, 84 is open, wide open at the bottom of the screen, right off his hands. I know you'd be on this podcast. Your whole background would be destroyed. I know your TV would be destroyed. Your camera would have a little crack in it. Your mic would sound like it was underwater. Like I know you would be pissed.
I wouldn't even be mad at Lil Jordan too much. I blame the coaching staff because why the fuck are we drawing up a game winning play to go to 84? Why the fuck would that be the game plan? Who the fuck thought that was a good decision to put the hopes of our season in Little Jordan fucking Humphrey? See, I'm not mad at Baltimore for saying let's put the hopes in our best offensive player, best offensive weapon. Not even that. No, our best receiver, like our best receiving threat. Let me be extremely specific. Like you just dropped the ball, but yeah, no, hell no, that was my team, bro. I'd be pissed. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I couldn't be no GM. Cause he be traded whenever I could trade him. The first day I could trade him, he be gone. He be gone. I'll tell. Look, I'll take a 6 round pick for him. 5th round, fourth, maybe. Just get him the fuck off my team. You can't go back. He can't go back to that team after that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the
He
more,
cost him.
I guess to wrap everything up, I feel like this game was really more just the Bills just took care of the football. They played
We didn't even talk
a
about the Bills.
I talked about them a little bit. I feel like they just played a clean, solid game, and they weren't the
Yeah, I
team
mean,
making the mistakes. Where the Ravens, as a whole, whoever you want to give blame to, the whole Ravens team as themselves were all making too many mistakes with Mark Andrews dropping the ball, people fumbling the ball, an interception. Like you just can't make those types of plays. You know.
yeah. And I want to give a shout out to James Cook too. He's just been playing out of his mind. Shout out to the Bills offensive line, bro. They have been balling. Khalil Shakir as well. Matt Collins. Somebody, I've said it before. Somebody needs to put that man in a whole reality check, bro, because he is doing way too much trying to fight people, bro. Like he's acting completely out of character, bro. Somebody need to put him in reality check. I'm hoping it's somebody on that Chiefs defense next week. But
Hold up.
yeah,
Why don't you like Matt Collins?
first of all, he tried to disrespect PS2 because he got that one catch on him and tried to stood over him and then got a flag for it. Like, bro, you're not like that, bro. First of all, you show up to the game with no shirt on and no shoes, no socks. Like, bro, he's a weird individual, bro. Somebody needs to put that man in a whole reality check. Somebody needs to, like, bro. I don't say this like I wish he played in the era with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. I want Josh Allen to throw a quick one across the middle of that brother, and he get his head tucking off. Cause he injured Marlon Humphrey today. You see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
He drove the man into the ground. Bro, what's up, bro? Who is Mac Hollins think he is all of a sudden, bro? Like I'm trying to figure out who gave that man that confidence to be doing that. As my dog is chasing his tail right here. Like, bro, like why? Like who gave that man that? Like, as I'm trying to figure out, bro. But still, shout out to Buffalo. Hey, their defense, even with these injuries, bro. But I will say, shout out, shout out to that brother, Von Miller. They put that man on every big third down in the game, and that man just consistently makes plays, bro.
Yeah, he was balling. So he had the scooping, almost the scooping score. I thought he was gonna score, but yeah, man, shout out to him. Again, I thought you'd be a little more happy about the Bills with him on the team, but
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like now I root for them a little bit. Like I do, I love Vaughn. It's probably my favorite player ever. One of them, him and Pat for sure, made my childhood. So I'll be rooting for him along the way. But I mean, look, man, I can't say I'm a little pissed still about us getting our ass whooped in Buffalo like that. I didn't thoroughly enjoy that. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, you got anything else to add?
no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, hit that sub button. Keep showing us love. Until the next one, we're gonna give our predictions later this week. I'm your host JMX, my co-host Ryan. See you next one. Peace.